Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate during the 2023 election, has continued to prove that he is the topmost when it comes to opposition against this current administration, and he's been x-raying every move of this current administration, and I think right now he's choking Bola Tinubu a great deal. Few hours ago, Bola Tinubu and the presidency announced that President Bola Tinubu will be traveling to Japan and Brazil. It did not go well with Peter Obi as he took out time to blast the president over his almost monthly traveling to other countries, despite the fact that there's a lot to be fixed in this country. I would like to let the cat out of the bag, get to hear exactly his position as it has to do with the latest update from the presidency about Bola Tinubu travel plan. Now, according to the news, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has condemned the planned foreign trip by President Bola Tinubu to Brazil and Japan. Obi, in a statement on Thursday, said Tinubu foreign trips are becoming too frequent and unnecessary, while many challenges remain unresolved on the home front. Specifically, Obi said it is worrying that President Tinubu derives joy in traveling abroad at the slightest invitation or excuse, but has not found it necessary to visit troubled states in the country. His criticism came on the heels of the announcement from the presidency on Wednesday that Tinubu will leave Abuja on Thursday, August 14, for official visit to Japan and Brazil with a brief stopover in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Peter Obi, in his reaction, said the trip is a sign of insensitivity to the plight of Nigerians on the part of Tinubu. He added that the duration of the foreign trip could also be significantly reduced, urging the president to focus on resolving the challenges plaguing the country rather than attending foreign conferences that contribute little or no tangible value to resolving the nation's woe. Obi's statement titled, "Again, Our President Move as the Nation Bleeds," read in full. According to him, he says, amid the deplorable state of our nation in all ramifications, we have a virtually indifferent president who has continued to display insensitivity to our situation. How can anybody explain that a president who came from Brazil recently and met with the president is returning to the same country, leaving the various degrees of challenges at home unresolved? The latest itinerary of the president shows he will depart Abuja on Thursday, August 14, for a two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. The president will stop over in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, before proceeding to Japan. In Japan, President Tinubu will attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD9, in the city of Yokohama from August 20 to 22. The itinerary is silent on the president's return date to his visibly troubled nation. The situation we find ourselves in is deeply worrisome. Our president, who has not found it worthy to visit any of our troubled states, takes joy in traveling to the foreign countries at the slightest invitation or excuse, often departing several days even before the event he is invited to. In his last trip, for instance, he had a one-week state visit to St. Lucia before attending the BRICS summit, where Nigeria was merely invited as an observer, though the role was dressed up as partner to the invitation, which was most significant. The leaders of actual member countries who attended only arrived a day or two at most for the event. Nigeria's insecurity situation, economic hardship, and human suffering have reached their peak. We are now counted among the most insecure nations, the most fragile economies, and the hungriest country in the world. This day reality demands the full attention of Mr. President, and his travel should be more within our troubled states and communities, spending time on the ground and taking decisive action to alleviate the people's suffering rather than these overseas conferences that contribute little or no tangible value to our nation's woe. And where the trip is necessary at all, it could be attended in just a few days rather than indulging in prolonged unnecessary absence from the country that requires 24/7 attention. What our country or nation needs now is security of lives and property, economic stability, and ensuring that our people have food on their table. Our president's planned trip of 12 days departing today, if necessary, should have been at most a 5-day trip, as the event he was invited to in Japan commences on the 20th of this month. Nigerians today demand competent leadership with capacity and compassion to start dealing with the problems besetting it with the presence and sacrifices required. Mr. President must, as a matter of urgency, commence tour of our states with the same enthusiasm he shows for jetting out of the country every month. These visits will enable him to see, listen, and learn more about what Nigerians are going through. Do Nigerians know that our huge problems cannot be solved overnight? They want to see 100% effort and tireless commitment to solving them. Most importantly, our president must know that he is not a tourist, but the chief executive of a troubled nation, so he must have consciousness, strict work schedules, and a strict traveling schedule to show that he has a troubled country to quickly return to. A new Nigeria is possible. P.O. Let me read the last paragraph. He said, most importantly, our president must know that he is not a tourist, but the chief executive of a troubled nation, so he must have consciousness, strict work schedule, and a strict traveling schedule to show that he has a troubled country to quickly return to. A new Nigeria is possible. This is coming from P.O. Peter Obi himself, and I must say that he's hitting the nail on the head. Now, first thing first, the president is traveling out and he's leaving the country that is bleeding, has a lot of issues. Today, 14. Stopover at Dubai before proceeding to Japan to attend the conference. We're talking about more than 6 to 7 days. 3 days would have been okay. But I think what Peter Obi is trying to reiterate is trying to show President Bola Ahmed Tinubu how you should deal with a country, a progressive country, not really a progressive country, a developing nation like Nigeria. If you really want to do what you had promised Nigeria, which is the agenda he had for Nigeria, renewed hope agenda for Nigeria. If he wants to renew the hope of agenda, he needs to build a very strict work schedule, whereby on a daily basis, he knows what to do and how to do it, and those whom he must work with must be on ground to make sure all those things are happening. But guess what? I can't really blame President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's an old man, whether we like it or yes. He told us he's 70-something. Yes, okay, that's official. But we know, based on the age of his first daughter, we know that age has a lot of question mark. But that's not our center of concentration. The thing there is he's an old man. And being an old man, it will be difficult for him to feature fully, to do what he's supposed to do. And unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, I realize that the president has some of the things that he has done thus far is okay. I would put it like that, because I cannot pretend as if I don't see certain moves he's taking. But one of the things that is not there is the act of monitoring. One of the things that is not there is for him to be conscious in letting Nigerians know that I've done my part and the buck has been moved to the table of the sub-regional leaders, which is the governors. Because unfortunately, the governors pretend as if they do not know what is going on, and it seems as though Nigerians are just seeing him the president. Now, for as long as he came on board, according to them, they said they're using this money, subsidy money. They are now giving it to the governors. But if he was there to monitor the impact of these things and have a roundtable talk with the communities and with the people of individual state, he will know how far this money has been pushing. I won't take anything from Rivers State or from Fubara, but there are things he had done which nobody can take it away from him. And one of it was his strict monitoring of how monies expended, money he has released to the local government area, how those monies are being used. We see on several occasions, key stakeholders travel to represent him in empowerment program held in those local government. He was following up a time, letting the people know. Every meeting he had with the people of Rivers State, especially the local government chairman, centered on one thing. And what was that one thing it centered on? It was on the fact that dividend of democracy must get to the people. And, letting them also understand that this money that we are spending, we are not trying to do the people a favor, because this money is not from our pocket. It is the Rivers State people's money. That's why I feel so vexed, allowing some Buccaneers to take over that state. Nigerians are so angry because he's one of the governors that have done things that touches the people to the grassroots. Other people that are there, they are just there to be submitting money. Now look at, for example, what has happened fairly recently. The Ibas, who unfortunately is a illegitimate sole administrator, is busy appointing commissions everywhere. I don't even know if the man will quit that office, because from all indication, the moves he has taken points to one direction, that he has come to stay and nothing can change it. Unfortunately, Fubara had already told Nigerians that he was tired of being the leader of the state. So I think that one is best known to him and his God. But I can still draw something from his leadership. Monitoring is zero in Bola Tinubu's government. Why I'm saying that is, unfortunately, we have him to lead us as a leader. But we know that he doesn't have the strength of monitoring like Peter Obi. That's why Peter Obi is angry to go into that position, because he has the power to run around as much as he can. But that power is not in Bola Tinubu. So if it's not in you, there are some other key things you should do. There are some people who should be in position to represent you at different phases, so that the people should know that I've given enough money to the state governors. They should do their work as at when due. And unfortunately, they are failing and pretending as if they don't even have enough money. It's quite troubling. But traveling around, just as Peter Obi has emphasized, for me, it's really a no-no. But let's make that conversation. What's the standpoint on the fact that Peter Obi has been able to give the president a kind of blueprint on how he should manage the affairs of a developing country, Nigeria, a developing country like Nigeria? Rick